Hello and welcome into the ReMix. I'm Joe Weil, and this week we're speaking to a band formed in Boston, and we've been following their careers since the Boston Calling Music Festival back in 2023. Paula Evans spoke to Coral Moons about their career and another music festival that they're playing in this weekend.
Well, they are friends of WBZ. Back on the ReMix, the band Coral Moons joins us now. Lead singer Carly Craft, Justin Bartlett on guitar, Kevin Ewer on drums, and Miguel Cepeda on bass. Great to see you again. And thanks so much for coming back here. We know you formed in Boston now. This weekend, you're playing at the Green River Festival in Western Mass. What should fans expect?
Yeah, we're really excited. We're playing our new song, Made Up My Mind. That'll be the first time we're playing it live for an audience, so we're really excited to get out there, and the weather looks beautiful, as we heard. So
gorgeous.
We're excited.
What is this festival like for people who haven't been before?
It's pretty like grassroots. It's just pretty relaxed, but it's like just good energy. Reminds me of similar to like Levitate Music Festival, which is in Marshfield. So it's very just kind of like happy-go-lucky festival.
Yep. Not so predictable and organized. You said you're going to be releasing this single early next month, and you'll be playing it on the ReMix here. We'll hear that later on. How has your sound evolved since you first all came together? What do you think?
Question.
Any of you?
Yeah, I think we all have a lot of roots in like R&B and soul music, which is kind of what we were all playing when we came together. And I think one thing that's really important is just like letting what comes out make its way into your music. And maybe our next single is a little bit more punky and edgy, but it doesn't mean we still don't have those like R&B roots or like an indie rock emphasis.
So you're not pigeonholed into one particular
we don't
thing.
think that we need to be. We're just having fun and like following our heart.
Right.
You know?
So you met in Boston, but two of you live in upstate New York. How hard or easy is it to stay together and keep writing music when you live across a couple states?
We all put in a lot of effort to be able to record our music, send it to each other so we can work remotely with each other. But a lot of long drives and a lot of planned time to practice.
Yeah. Technology has helped with all of that.
Certainly.
So you have a summer tour planned? So tell us about that. Where are you going to be going? Where can fans see you?
Yeah, we're going to be hitting up the Midwest, which is going to be really exciting. Specifically, I think we're playing like Summerfest in Chicago, which will be really cool. Oh, Milwaukee.
That's famous.
Through the Midwest, and then we're coming back through the Northeast in September.
Right, you're going to be back in Boston in the fall.
Yep.
Yes.
And what will that be?
Yeah, so we're playing the Sinclair on September 10th, which is a very special place for us. We played our first show there last year, and it will be just as special the second time.
Yeah. What would you say to fans or to just music lovers as people watch young bands these days trying to navigate all these waters? There's so much change. You have to be able to adapt. What's the best way to just flow with that?
I would say just be genuine to yourself. Play music that you really care about, that you really feel is the most representative of yourself. Yeah.
And people will find you.
Yes.
These days.
And take a chance on going to see a band maybe you've never heard of or, haven't seen on some billboard, There's a lot of really incredible small independent bands that are really doing great. So.
And that's what's so great about these music festivals, right? Like everyone was saying when Chappell Roan was at Boston Calling last year, nobody had really...
Totally.
A wide audience hadn't heard of her before, and then she exploded right after that. So that's great advice. Take a chance.
Go discover something special,
Go discover Coral Moons if you can, if you're going to be in Western Mass. And so thank you for joining us. And we stay tuned. We're going to have live performances from Coral Moons coming up.
It's a first for Boston this weekend. A wildly popular LGBTQ festival out west is coming to the East Coast. This weekend, the Outloud Music Festival at Suffolk Downs in East Boston features high-energy performances celebrating the LGBTQ community. The former horse racing track reopened as a music venue a few years ago. Pop star Kim Petras, along with Trixie Mattel and a list of others. Jeff Consoletti launched Outloud in Los Angeles, but he grew up in Milford and knew exactly what city to choose for its East Coast debut.
has been a great home for me, but I love my Boston and New England roots. Whether it's brisk fall days or just I really also recall my first live concerts, whether it was like attending events at the old Foxborough or Great Woods. The young producer in me really like connected to just regionally how the area comes together to celebrate music and particularly like in the summer months. So as I've developed my own shows, it was always in the back of my mind, like, how do I bring something home? And this is an exciting project to come home with.
Consoletti says now more than ever, LGBTQ people need places to come together in community. We've got much more to come. Should phones be allowed at concerts? One of the world's most famous singers doesn't think so. Plus, Jaws weekend on Martha's Vineyard, the event set for the island, and insight into some rare photos unearthed by Yankee Magazine. The Duel of the Fates is coming to Boston. Darth Vader and Obi-Wan Kenobi will be at Fan Expo Boston 2025. Star Wars actors Hayden Christensen and Ewan McGregor. West Newbury native John Cena is also slated to appear, and the event is set for the weekend of August 8th at the Boston Convention and Exhibition Center. We have more information on our website, WBZ.com. And as schools dial back phones in classrooms, there's now a debate over whether phones belong at concerts. Sabrina Carpenter tells Rolling Stone she wouldn't be against banning them altogether. She tells the magazine she considered having fans lock their phones away during shows after attending a concert where she was forced to do that herself. She tells the magazine she's never had a better experience and that seeing everyone interact in person felt beautiful. Well, 50 years ago today, a movie was released and changed the landscape of films forever. Jaws spawned the modern blockbuster and made beachgoers fear the water for decades to come. Directed by Steven Spielberg, Jaws follows a giant man-eating shark that terrorizes a fictional summer resort town. It was all shot in Martha's Vineyard, and this weekend, the island will have plenty to do for Jaws and film aficionados. And if you're headed to Martha's Vineyard this weekend, there will be meet and greets with cast members at several events, and a replica of the Orca boat is on display in Oak Bluffs Harbor. Jaws will be screened with the Cape Cod Symphony Orchestra playing along live. National Geographic will debut its Jaws documentary tonight, and if you can't make it to the island, you can still catch the new doc when it premieres on TV July 10th. And speaking of Jaws, Yankee Magazine just uncovered some behind-the-scenes photos from the filming back in 1974. They haven't been seen in more than 50 years. We spoke to the executive editor about the incredible find.
It's just a great luck of fortune here. We got a call from a longtime Yankee photographer, this guy Peter Vandermark, who had shot a lot for us in the 70s and 80s. And he had this stash of photos that he had shot early in his career. He was working for this obscure little Cape Cod weekly, and he got a tip from his editor, said, hey, there's a movie being shot on Martha's Vineyard. I'm gonna send you over to the vineyard with an editor, with a writer, and you guys just hang out for the day and shoot some shots, shoot some photos. And it was Jaws, and he got to be there at the moment when they were shooting the scene where they're trying to get, they're on the Orca, they got the barrel on Jaws. The whole cast was there. Just amazing luck. And it's funny because the photos he captured, he was there to shoot them shooting the film. But the best photos now, 50 years later, are the ones that are off the set. You know, when they're sort of hanging out, they're having lunch, the cast is together, they're reading The Hollywood Reporter. So it's this nice blend of like the movie being made, but then the crew just kind of hanging out during lunch and other breaks.
So, it's like such an iconic thing, and these photos have never been seen before. Have they ever been printed before?
They haven't been published since they were originally published in 1974. So he came back, he processed the film, he was shooting film obviously back then. They showed up in that next week's paper, and then they went into his personal archive. And he knew they were there. They just, he's had a long career, and they were well kept, but they have not been published since 1974.
So, over 50 years.
Yeah.
These photos have just been hidden away.
Yeah.
And now they're just being enjoyed for the first time. What is it like, being able to get that behind the scenes look at they're so intimate photos, right? You touched upon it. Seeing the actors not really playing their parts and just being everyday people. What is it like to be able to show that to an audience?
Well, personally, it's my catnip to sort of see this stuff, right? And that film was so famously fraught. It went over budget, went over schedule. The nickname on the island, on the Vineyard, was Flaws. There were clashes between cast members. There's, Robert Shaw, who was famously ornery and competitive, would constantly challenge Richard Dreyfuss to climb up the masthead of the Orca, and he kept offering more and more money each day till Spielberg finally shut it down. But what these pictures show is something else. I think they show a camaraderie. They show the way the cast. There were other moments that the cast had. They weren't just always clashing. It wasn't always a struggle. I think these pictures show the enjoyment of the film being made.
What does it mean? Obviously, Yankee has such an amazing reputation in New England. What is it like for the magazine to be able to put out these photos, to show one of the most famous movies, if not the most famous movie, shot in this area?
Yeah, I mean, Jaws really launched the idea of the summer blockbuster. But previous to that, Jaws had summer releases would get, a handful of theaters, and they tried something new with Jaws, and they flooded the theater market with it. For us, we get a peek into a world on the Vineyard that, a different time. It these wonderful black and white photos from the 70s. I think it solidifies our reputation as sort of being really connected to New England and being the real storytellers of New England.
What do you want your viewers, your readers to get out of these photos?
I guess I want our readers to appreciate the work that went into making this film. It's sort of the idea that the Vineyard was home to this incredible landmark film. I mean, it's arguably the most rewatchable film in film history, right? I mean, you could turn it on and you're sucked right in. And this happened right in our backyard. It's right there. And these photos just sort of document that and cement that sort of the Jaws legacy and the importance New England has had in in its connection to Jaws.
Obviously, massively iconic film. It's turning 50 this year.
Yeah.
There's going to be a celebration on the Vineyard. How do you wrap around what was it like to be able to print these photos and give an audience this amazing behind the scenes look?
It meant a lot to me. It's funny, we get a lot of calls, cold calls from people who have a story idea, right, that they think would be great for Yankee. And this one was, I got the email and I sort of had to read it a couple times to make sure I was reading it correctly. And Peter's a wonderful person. He's a wonderful photographer. I love the idea that we get to celebrate his legacy and the career he's had. He's shot a lot of important stories for us over the years. And I'd like to think that Peter's, his own celebrity is going to rise as a result of this, along with Yankees.
Really cool stuff. Playing their new single for the first time. That's coming up next on the Remix. Coral Moons returns for their first of 2 live performances. Performing their new single, Made Up My Mind, for the first time, here is Coral Moons.
We're Coral Moons, and this is Made Up My Mind, out July 2nd. Sometimes I like to think of another life.
Great performance there by Coral Moons. And if you like that, we've got one more just ahead. Stay with us. All right, back for one more song. Here is Coral Moons with Summer of You.
All right, we're Coral Moons, and this is Summer of You. It's taken me much longer than expected. I just wanna dance till lights go out. I'm moving back into my body. I just wanna try and shake it out. But it was the first summer away from you. You drove me away and now I'm trying to get out. But it was the first summer away from you. You drove me away and now I'm trying to get out. We're going up and down on the Ferris wheel. But no one understands. Promise this time we could make it for real, make it for real. And we could get a second chance. But it was the first summer away from you. You drove me away and now I'm trying to get out. But it was the first summer away from you. You drove me away and now I'm trying to get out. Trying again, trying again, trying to get out. Trying again, trying again, trying to get out. Trying again, trying again, trying to get out. Trying again, trying again. But it was the first summer away from you. You drove me away and now I'm trying to get out. But it was the first summer away from you. You drove me away and now I'm trying to get out.
Thank you so much to Coral Moons, and good luck with the new single. And thank you for joining us. We'll be back next week for more lifestyle, community, and entertainment news here on the ReMix.